Will you underline it? What? Inverted comma. With a small point. Okay? It's written by W.H. Auden. It was written in 1952. So when World War II finished?
World War II, 1944.
1945. So it was like 7 years later of Second World War, in the second half of 20th century. Okay, post-modern era, right? It was in post-modern era. The shield of Achilles. We will see the word distracted image of a unreal city or city. Okay. So this was the poem. Do remember the lines. Do remember the poem, like the stars and all of it. Let me just read it. Tell me if you have any confusion in any line. I will just explain that. Okay? She looked over his shoulder. Who is she here? Who is Thetis?
Mother of Achilles.
Mother of Achilles and the goddess of sea. Okay, sea nymph. Okay, she had two powers. One is to influence the fate of someone. Okay, and then the other is immortal. This was first, and second one, whatever. Okay, so she used this power to make the future of Achilles. Okay, she wanted his son to be what? She had two options. Homer's Iliad. And what were the two options? Short life with fame and long life with no fame. And she chose short life with fame. And she dipped the boy in Styx River, holding the heel, and the heel didn't get wet. Water. Okay, so this heel was vulnerable, except this part, all his body part was invulnerable. So that's why he was one of the greatest heroes of Greece. Okay. She looked over his shoulder. She was actually looking at some sheet, where she was looking for some greeneries, some rituals, and all of this. We will see that. For vines and olive trees means some green, natural something. Okay. Marble well-governed cities, which will be well-governed. If a country is well-governed, then there is no war. There is no destruction. Okay, only peace. So she was actually looking for civilization which is in peace. And ships upon the untamed seas, a great navy and merchant ships. But there on the shining metal, his hands had put in state an artificial wilderness and a sky of blood. But there was no greeneries, okay? No untamed sea, no navy, no merchant ships. Instead, there was an artificial wilderness. The place was vacant. Okay, there was nothing. It was like a dead land, a wasteland. It had a sky like Tushor. Because it's a gray sky. A plain without a feature. A field which will have feature, will have some birds and flowers and trees. But this plain that we can see in the shield have no feature, no greenery. It's bare and brown, no blade of grass, no sign of neighborhood. Okay, no civilization actually, nothing to eat, nowhere to sit down. Yet congregated on its blanket stood an unintelligible multitude. A group of people are standing there in rows. A million eyes, a million votes. Okay, which means 5 lakh people. A million means 10 lakh. So 10 lakh eyes means 5 lakh people. 5 lakh people in a line without expression waiting for a sign. They are waiting for a sign, a thing of change. Out of the year, a voice without face, proved by statistics that some cause was just. So the voice who is giving the command is making them convinced that, yeah, we are fighting for something really noble. In tones as dry and deep as the place. So this place is dry and the tone is also dry. It's a plain voice, leveled voice. No one was shared, nothing was discussed. Column by column, in the cloud of dust, they marched away during the lift. So after hearing the announcement that we will move forward, they were not moved. They were not having any expression. Okay, they were not happy. Nothing was discussed. And they started to move forward. And when their boots will strike the grassless land, then there will be dust. Okay, so that's the situation. This logic brought them somewhere else to live. So they were having a belief. They were fighting for some noble cause. Okay, they are having a belief in their mind, and that belief, like if you are fighting for freedom, okay, that slavery will hurt you. Okay, so this thing is saying the last line. She looked over his shoulders for ritual parties, like some ritual events of Christianity. Christianity is supposed to bring peace in the world. So she is looking for some Christian rituals which will bring peace. Okay. White flower garlanded heifers. So there will be a cow which will be sacrificed. It will have a white flower garland. Mala thakbe golaয়. Libation and sacrifice. But on the shiny metal, where the altar should have been, there should be an altar. Altar is the platform where something is slaughtered. Okay, something is sacrificed. So she was looking for some altar. But instead, she saw by his flickering torchlight quite another scene. There was another scene in the shield. Barbed wire enclosed an arbitrary spot. There was spot, mysterious spot. Okay, it was enclosed with some kakatarar bera bole na? So it was something like that. Where board officials launched one cracked joke and satire, sentries sweated. For the day was hot. It was a hot day. Officials, the winners of the war, they are having some fun and having some rest because they are tired of the war. A crowd of ordinary decent folk watched from without and neither moved nor spoke. Decent means common people. They are not barbers. They are not, bad people. They are not aggressive people. Okay? So these common people, they are standing nearby to see what will happen in this platform. The three pale figures were led forth and bound to three posts driven upright in the ground. They were killed there. Okay? 3 persons. I say that this 3 represents the Jesus Christ and 2 other people who were crucified the same day. And this mysterious place can be, Hitler's concentration camp or something like that, indicating the Second World War. The muscle majesty of this world, all that carries weight and always weight the same. So the position and wealth, that is always expensive, always having the same expense, having the same weight. They are on the hand of the winners, not in the hand of these 3 people who were defeated. Okay? Lay in the hands of others. They were small, could not hope for help, and no help came. So always when it's about literature, we see some hope. Like we're not hoping a miracle will happen, someone will be saved, but still we hope that a miracle will come and the things will be changed. But here they are saying this is the reality. We didn't hope to get any help, and no help actually came. With their foes liked, what their foes liked to do was done. Their shame was all the worst could wish. They lost their pride and died as men before their bodies died. So the moment they were captivated, they are the soldiers. Their pride, their bravery is to fight. Okay, the moment they are captivated, they have lost their pride and they are dead at that very moment. She looked over his shoulder for athletes at their games, men and women who dance, moving their sweet lips, quick music. So Therese is looking for a scene where people are celebrating the war. Okay, maybe they have won the war, so they are celebrating according to Greek mythology. Okay, but they're on the shining shield. His hands had said no dancing floor, but wind-choked field. So there was no dancing floor. Little on the dance and celebration. There was no floor even, and it was he actually draw a wind-choked field, a field which was full of unnecessary trees, unnecessary small trees like agacha যেটাকে বলে, ঠিক আছে? It can have 2 meanings. That the farmer had never came back to his land because maybe he is dead in the war. Okay, or people did not have any chance to actually cultivate the land. Okay, the cultivation means the life. Okay, so it was lifeless. The Raj arching. What is the meaning of arching? I said a lad, a boy of 12 to 18 years. Okay, have you forgotten? all the information that I provided. Okay, so a rat arching a lad who is wearing some, torn clothes, shabby clothes. Aimless and alone loitered about the vacancy. So here is a word distracted city. Okay, the buildings are distracted. There is no house standing together. Okay, so all are distracted, and in this place, in this vacant place where no one is living, think about Japan. Okay, think about Hiroshima and Nagasaki when the atom bombs were there, and after that the place became vacant. No one was there, so it can be a representation of that. So a boy with torn clothes is roaming around the place, aimless. He was aimless. He didn't have any school or anything, and he was alone. There was no company, no family. Okay, a guard flew up to save him from his well-aimed stone. So aimlessly, he just, threw a stone to the guard to kill it. There was no purpose actually. He just did it. Okay, the girls are raped and two boys with knife a third were exhumed to him. Exhumed means like it's normal. It will happen. A concept that it will happen. Okay, kind of stereotypes. Okay, we believe that will happen. I'm going to take a normal example there. Say in our society we believe that normally we believe that after marriage your children will stay with you for the whole life. This is believed. This was believed once. But now parents are like, it's okay. After marriage or after job they will live with their own family. Okay, they will have their own family. So now it's becoming normal. And one day it will become normal. For us, it's not normal to take appointments to meet our parents. Okay, but in Western culture, it's natural. Okay, this extends to them. Okay, extends means accepted by all the people. So this boy is in a world where rape is normal. Girls will be raped. It was normal. And two boys will knife the third. There will be, chaos, there will be fights, unnecessary fights, and maybe snatching. It could be something like that. These scenes are normal to him. Who have never heard, this boy have never heard of any world where promises were kept. The parties, the main parties of the world, they were having some discussions and all to bring peace. But there was no sign of that. Okay, and also the government, they wanted to run the country in one way, but it was missed. Okay, because of the chaos. So no one actually kept their promises, or one could do it because another would. Like in this class, if something bad happens to someone, then we will feel bad. We will cry for him maybe. Okay, in his distress. But he didn't hear about that. That human will cry for human. If it was normal that human will cry for human, then how can one country bomb another to kill some people? Okay, so it was not normal to him. These two lines are really important. This whole thing is really important. The thin-lipped armorer, we're talking about is Hephaestus. Who is Hephaestus? The god of fire, blacksmith in Greek mythology, and he actually made this armor, made this shield. Okay, so he actually came, hopped away. He had an injury in the leg, so he was walking like that. Taking off his shining breast, cried out in despair. So Thetis was really angry, and he was depressed. He said to the Hephaestus that what the god has wrought to please her son, the strong. So he's saying that what have you done to the shield? What will I give to my son? He's a glorious person. You should have drawn this. But instead you have put a world which is distracted, which is having some bad vibes. Okay, so I'm not happy about that. So to please her son, Achilles, the strong iron-hearted man slaying Achilles. Okay, he was undefeatable, Achilles. So that's what man slay. If he is undefeatable, fades. Okay? Okay. So what are the themes of this poem? Disillusionment of modern society. Modern society is supposed to be civilized, is supposed to be full of happy moments, well-governed cities, okay, a good government, peace between the countries. Okay, the more and more we are being civilized, the more we expect this from us. Okay, but what does it mean that in 2030, 2070 there will be no war? We will be more civilized. We will have more civilized buildings, more civilized countries, more strong government, but still we will fight with each other. Okay, so there will be lack of humanity. Okay, so first one is disillusionment of modern society. We are expecting modern and postmodern society to be civilized, more civilized, but instead it is becoming more savage. It is becoming more aggressive. Okay, violence and dehumanization. The failure of art and myth. The art and myth represents the main shield of Achilles, which is represented in Homer's Iliad. It's full of, mythical peace. Okay, it's representation of peace, games, okay, and then rituals, and then greeneries, okay, civilization, gods and goddesses, okay, and there will be gatherings, people's gatherings, not be alienated. So that was the thing. But the failure of art and myth. But this art and myth actually failed in 20th century or modern society because of the wars, because of the fights. Alienation and moral abstinence. Okay, alienation can be seen in the boy, that arbitrary spot, okay, 3 men being killed. There also be innocence of hope, essential knowledge of modern individuals, and the hope of redemption through Christianity, like. And Christian, there was ritual. Ritual was supposed to happen, or sacrifices were supposed to happen to bring peace. Okay, but instead, peace through Christianity, through religion, people were expecting for some peace. Same happened in the second coming. We saw that the second coming is supposed to bring peace in the world, but instead, people are seeing a second coming which will bring more destruction in the world. Okay. Spiritual emptiness from oppressive government. Okay, here are some important questions. This sheet shows the barrier of peace and conflict explained. I gave it to you already, right? This question is already provided.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay, and then comes, if you don't understand a question, just let me know. I will explain that to you. The shield represents a microcosm of civilization, like all the civilization, all aspects of life are shown in this. Okay? So all aspects, like a boy, a city, a war, a ritual, a greenery, a gathering, okay, a sport, everything. How does audience description of the shield differ from Homer's description of the shield? Okay? And then what is Thales expecting to see? Same type of question. What message is Auden trying to convey through the contrast between expectation and reality? What is the message? Is there any message? Is there any message? Maybe don't talk. When you read a book, okay, if it's based on good things, then you learn the good things. If it's based on learned things, you learn not to do the bad things. Okay, so if it's about destruction, and if it's about dehumanization, then you will learn humanity from here. Okay, you will learn not to fight, because fighting will destroy you and me both. Okay, don't focus there. Okay, what is the tone of the poem? Sad, melancholic. How does it change between Thetis' hope and the grim reality? Okay. Here you see some same type of questions. Okay. What is the symbolic meaning of the boy? The boy বলতে কাকে represent করা হচ্ছে? এটা আপনাকে বলতে হবে। Important lines দেই নেই। Important lines এই কারণে দেই নেই কারণ কবিতাটা খুব একটা বড় না। And when it's about poems, when it's not epic, epic is like 3,000 words or something, 3,000 lines. It's not a big thing. It's a maybe 60 lines or 70 lines poem. So you can just read it. And you saw that I emphasized in some lines a bit more. So those are more important. Okay? So let's read that, take preparation. I will not revise this